Before watching Season 3 of The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, let's catch up on the wild ride of Seasons 1 and 2. How did Daryl end up in France? And how does Carol track him down? Here's a quick recap of the key events to get you ready. Daryl Dixon washes up on a beach in France, totally lost after something went sideways on his mission to find Rick Grimes. He's in a post-apocalyptic France, just as messed up as America. He spots Isabelle, a nun posting "God loves you" signs, but they don't talk. Daryl meets a blind man and a woman named Maribel, but soldiers roll up and a fight knocks Daryl out. Isabelle saves him and he wakes up in a convent called the Abbey, part of the Union of Hope. There he meets Laurent, an orphan boy, and Father Jean. As Daryl plans to leave, soldiers from the cause invade, hunting him. Their leader, Cadron, orders Father Jean killed, sparking a brawl. Daryl returns, fights off the soldiers, and saves Isabelle, Laurent, and a nun named Sylvie. Cadron escapes. We kick off with a flashback to Paris before the zombie outbreak. Isabelle's living it up, partying and dancing, catching eyes under the glowing Eiffel Tower. Then chaos hits. Walkers flood the streets, marking the apocalypse's start. A guy named Quinn, someone close to her, saves her in his car. Back to the present, Daryl, Isabelle, Laurent, and Sylvie plot a trip north, studying a map. They run into a walker herd, but Daryl cleverly releases a horse to distract them, letting the group slip away. Some survivors capture Daryl and the others, taking them to their leader, Lou. After proving they're no threat, Lou offers shelter and supplies. At the La Tarasque's castle, Daryl frees one of Lou's imprisoned allies, sparking a gunfight. He teaches the freed man to shoot, but they're attacked by RJ Gaines, an American dreaming of home. Daryl tells him the US is just as bad as France, fights him, and wins, killing RJ. Daryl and Isabelle check out a rundown theater for a musician with a radio, but find him staging a creepy walker orchestra. Daryl calls it a bust, and they leave. Sylvie freezes when a walker nears, so Daryl shoots it. In rundown Paris, they see few walkers. Fallot's group stops them, but Isabelle mentions Father Jean, and Fallot recognizes Laurent as the child. Meanwhile, Cadron joins Genet at Maison Mère, watching a scientist experiment on a variant walker that goes haywire. At Isabelle's looted apartment, burning walkers fall from above, forcing them out. They hit the catacombs to reach the Demimonde nightclub, negotiating a boat deal. Daryl wakes from a weird dream of swimming walkers and sets off to find Isabelle after the Cadron fight. He spots Antoine, the pigeon guy, who's killed by thieves. Antoine's last wish is for Daryl to free his birds. At Isabelle's old apartment, they realize Laurent's likely at the Eiffel Tower. There they find walkers quarantined underneath, but the zombies break free. During the fight, Laurent's kidnapped. Daryl and Isabelle interrogate a left-behind kidnapper, Armand, who reveals he works for Quinn, Isabelle's ex. Daryl stabs Armand to find a back entrance to the Demimonde club. Teaming up with Fallot, Emile, and Sylvie, they plan Laurent's rescue. At the club, Quinn tries to win Laurent over with candy, but Laurent knows he's his father. Daryl sneaks in, grabs Laurent, and knocks Quinn out on the dance floor catwalk, sparing him for Laurent's sake. Isabelle finds a boat, but knows they need Quinn's help to escape. Daryl and Laurent sail down a river with Aslan, heading to the nest, a home for the soul. In a flashback, Daryl is in Maine, stopped by Jones, who takes him to a repair shop to fix his bike. Daryl hunts walkers, tying them up. Back in the present, Aslan's group camps for the night. In Paris, Quinn tells Isabelle the Pouvoir know Laurent escaped with her American friend. A flashback shows Daryl radioing Carol, struggling to lead the Commonwealth without him. At camp, a walker attacks, and Aslan is found impaled, dying after telling Daryl to get Laurent to the nest. Laurent cut a rope, causing the attack. Upset over losing everyone, Guerrier trucks chase them. Daryl's captured, but Laurent surrenders to save him. Isabelle finds them in cells. Genet's imprisoned too. Guards take Daryl to an arena, where a drugged, violent walker awaits as Cadron vows revenge. Daryl fights a walker in an arena as the Pouvoir cheer and Cadron taunts. Quinn's thrown in, but they survive. Genet's furious as her men fail to shoot Daryl, who escapes with Quinn. Quinn's wounded by a torch and later dies, apologizing to Isabelle for using Laurent. Daryl, Isabelle, Laurent, and Sylvie head to Mont Saint-Michel, but their truck breaks down. Cadron and Genet's soldiers take the group hostage. Isabelle's stabbed, protecting Laurent. Cadron kills the soldiers, spares Laurent, and lies to Genet about an ambush. At the nest, Losang offers Daryl a way home via England. Daryl leaves a Rubik's Cube for Laurent and heads to Normandy, spotting an American flag. Walkers rise from the beach, but he takes them down. Laurent calls out, surrounded by walkers, as Daryl eyes a boat home. In Maine, Carol chases a guy on Daryl's motorcycle, traps him, and demands answers. Season 2 kicks off with Daryl training Laurent to kill walkers at the nest. Genet's men kidnap Union of Hope members, including Emile and Fallot. Sylvie and Daryl push for a rescue, but Losang urges caution and tells Daryl to stop training Laurent. In Maine, Carol interrogates men at a gas station about Daryl's bike, learning he's in France. Spotting a plane, she crashes her car, then finds Ash's fortified farm. Carol sneaks into his greenhouse, accidentally letting walkers in. Carol lies about her husband taking Sophia to France, convincing Ash to fly her there. At the nest, Daryl joins a rescue mission. The ambush fails when a bomb doesn't detonate, but Daryl attacks, freeing the prisoners. Lightning destroys Ash's farm generator, but he and Carol fight off walkers and take flight to France. Laurent prays at the nest, craving a normal life, and hugs Daryl after his rescue mission, wanting knife lessons. In Greenland, Carol and Ash land due to a fuel leak, saved from walkers by Yoon and Hannah. The women offer supplies, but Hannah turns on Carol with Daryl's crossbow, while Yoon tries to seduce Ash for repopulation. Carol convinces Hannah, who shoots Yoon. Ash kills Hannah, thinking she'd harm Carol. At the nest, Sylvie finds Laurent captive under Losang's orders. Daryl, Isabelle, and Fallot raid a mill, where Emile, tortured by Genet, reveals a plan to kill Daryl and test Laurent's immunity with a walker bite. Isabelle kills Emile. Carol reaches France, infiltrates Genet's compound, and learns Caudron is tortured for the nest's location, which Genet unknowingly has via Aslan's watch. Genet bonds with Carol over the Mona Lisa. Carol and Remy snoop at Maison Mère, discovering Dr. Lafleur creating burner walkers. At the nest, Sylvie exposes the ceremony to kill Laurent, but falls to her death during a scuffle. Daryl, Isabelle, and Fallot sneak in as Losang drugs Laurent for the ceremony. A zombified Sylvie approaches Laurent, but Daryl kills her. They hide, but Isabelle is separated as Daryl distracts guards. Carol learns from Caudron about the nest and Genet's plan to kill Daryl. Remy betrays Carol, who's captured by Genet. Genet reveals her goal to destroy the Union's false hope, planning to turn volunteers into walkers. At the nest, Daryl and Isabelle, chained together, share a moment before Losang separates them. Carol hides as Guerriere kill volunteers, turning them into super speed walkers. She frees Caudron, who helps her for Laurent's sake, and they storm the nest. Isabelle wounds Losang, but he stabs her. Carol saves Isabelle from a walker, but she dies, urging Daryl to protect Laurent. Daryl reunites with Carol, then they search for Laurent, finding his cave empty. They meet Theo and Didi, who helped Laurent and Fallot escape to Paris. Theo mistakes Carol for Isabelle, and the couple offers a car. Carol opens up about Sophia to Didi. Guerriere arrive, and Theo betrays them to Genet, but Didi hides them. Carol confronts Genet, who rants about the powerful causing the apocalypse. Daryl kills her guards, and Carol injects Genet with the virus, killing her. Didi's shot dead, and they leave Theo behind, heading for Laurent. Daryl and Carol, stranded by a broken car, head to Paris. At the rooftop, Fallot criticizes Losang's radicalism, and Caudron, vouched for by Laurent, reveals Genet's siege. Carol admits to Daryl she lied to Ash about Sophia, sparking memories of her losses. At the rooftop, Laurent learns of Isabelle's death and refuses to join Daryl in the USA, feeling he belongs in Paris. Carol and Daryl hit Demimonde, learning Ash's ethanol came from Maison Mère. Losang and Guerriers raid the rooftop, searching for Laurent, but Fallot's distraction lets him and Caudron escape. At Maison Mère, Daryl and Carol find Ash in a walker-surrounded van, using Dr. Lafleur's virus to clear the horde. Daryl, Laurent, and Caudron evade Losang's group in the catacombs, killing Losang. Laurent agrees to leave with Daryl, but the plane can't carry all four. Daryl decides to stay in France, giving Laurent a guitar and singing together. Carol reveals she'll stay, begging Ash not to abandon Laurent. At the rooftop, Fallot, Caudron, and Aquila scavenge an asylum, but Sabine's team, led by Jacinta, hunts Laurent. Anna trades the plane's location, but traps Jacinta in a burner-filled basement, dying herself. herself. Ash and Daryl cover as Carol and Laurent escape by plane. Jacinta kills herself after failing. Daryl's group joins Fiona and Angus for England via the Chunnel. Caudron learns Daryl didn't kill his brother, grappling with guilt. In the Chunnel, psychoactive bat guano causes hallucinations. Glowing walkers attack. Caudron stabs Daryl, chasing his brother's vision. Daryl kills the Scottish couple for masks, and Carol sees Sophia but lets her go. Carol and him head home through the Chunnel. And here's a question for you. Should Daryl have stayed in France to protect Laurent, or was he right to head to the USA with Carol? What do you think?